Hi guys, so it's my day off and I've been itching to do a video on sunscreen because I do worry about you all because there's still so many patients that aren't wearing sunscreen, and particularly young patients whose skin is so vulnerable to the damage that we can now prevent because we know that we need to wear sunscreen every day, unlike our ancestors and our parents and grandparents who used to lie around in olive oil and carrot, tinged tanning creams. We know now that we need to protect our skin, so there's really no excuse, and there's lots of evidence and research out there proving this. So I wanted to just talk through sunscreen, why it's so important, and hopefully answer a few questions that I've had regarding this. So ultraviolet rays come in two forms, A and B. Now we won't get too technical here, but the way to remember is A for aging and B for burning. And we know that UV rays also cause damage to our cells, and this damages our DNA and our RNA, and it actually can be irreversible. So if you've ever had a really bad sunburn when you were younger, that is your cells releasing. It's like a distress signal. They go red, they burn, the DNA is damaged and the cell is damaged. So you really need to be so mindful about how you're protecting your skin and preventing those sunburns from happening. And I myself have been burnt as a child, but as an adult, never ever since, because I've been extremely vigilant. So bearing in mind that we've got those two UV rays that can damage our skin in multiple ways and that the damage can be irreversible, one of the key things we need to do is to wear sunscreen. Now, I mentioned this to one of my colleagues yesterday in the office in A&E, and she said, oh, my moisturizer has sun cream in. Okay, first, true or false? Does SPF in your moisturizer count? No, it doesn't. So it's a bit like us discussing the cakes last night and saying a carrot cake. Having a slice of carrot cake doesn't mean you've had your carrot quota for the day. It's not one of your 5 a day. However, it can still be called a carrot cake. Just as a moisturizer can say SPF 30, or even a foundation which says SPF 40. Just because they've put an SPF in which provides that protection doesn't mean there's enough of that SPF in that product to provide that protection. Does that make sense? So if you've got SPF in your foundation, your powder, your creams, this doesn't work. It's not enough. Well, it does work, as in it would work a little bit, but you're not going to get enough protection by applying that to your whole face as you would a sunscreen. So that's the first thing. You really need to stop thinking that you're protected and that you can rely on those products, because you can't. Your SPF must come from a separate sunscreen. It has to be an actual sunscreen. It can't be a moisturizer, it can't be a spray foundation, a primer. It has to be a separate sunscreen. Okay, hope we've got that clear. So separate sunscreen, when do you need to wear it? You need to wear it every single day, all year. A lot of people say, oh, I wear it when the sun's out, it's a hot day, I'd put it on to go in the garden. And I say, what about if you go to the pub with your friends, you go for a walk with the dog and it's like a really nice sunny day? Well, no, I wouldn't really put it on then because I'm only out for like an hour. Okay, that's where you're already going wrong again. So remember, ultraviolet rays are out all year, every single day. Even on a cold, dark, dull day, the ultraviolet rays are still passing through the clouds. That's why it's daylight, because the sun's out. So you have to protect your skin. So you need to have a separate sunscreen that you're putting on every day. So next question, when do you need to put it in your routine? So it needs to go last. So you do your cleansing, your serum, your creams of choice, then you put your sunscreen on. So it's the last product in your skincare regime. However, it may not be the last product that you put on your face. So if you're someone that still likes to wear foundation, then you would put your foundation on over the top of your sunscreen, because obviously if you did it the other way around, the sunscreen would whiten out and ruin your foundation. However, when you put your makeup on, you are of course going to mess up your sunscreen. So the best way really to do this is to use a sponge, like a beauty blender, put your foundation on, and then just press that on really gently to the areas that you need coverage if you've got redness or breakouts. Don't be rubbing your foundation in and using a brush and blending. You're just going to take off all your sunscreen. It's going to be all over your foundation brush. Okay, so every day under your makeup. Now comes another problem. If you're out all day, sunscreen only lasts around 2 to 3 hours. I know, sorry. So if you're wearing a full face of makeup, you're not protected. There's not really a way around this. I mean, you can use powder sunscreens to top up if you want, but as I said, you will not be getting enough protection. But if you're someone that must wear makeup and you have to wear makeup, then you need to take into account that you're not going to be getting protection from those UV rays which are damaging your cells. If you don't wear makeup, like myself, it's much easier. You can simply put another layer on whenever you like. So I use the tinted sunscreens a lot because you get a nice bit of coverage and a bit of a glow. You can then just top up out the whole face throughout the day and you are sorted basically. The same with the white sunscreen as well. You can top up throughout the day as you need. So every 2 to 3 hours. Don't forget to go right up to the lid margin, because a lot of people complaining of dark under eyes and crepiness, which I have a little bit of darkness, but I don't have too much crepiness, but I am really vigilant about my sunscreen. So I put it right up to the lash line and I put it all on my eyelids, under my brows and right around, which a lot of people don't do because they think, I don't want to get sun cream in my eye. But with the pH formula stuff, they won't irritate your eyes, so you can get right up to them, and I've had no problem. Okay, so we've covered why you need sunscreen to prevent damage to your cells. We've covered when to wear it, which is every single day, all year, regardless of if it's cold, dry, dark, the ultraviolet rays are there. We've covered when to use it, so it goes the last step in your skincare routine, but if you wear makeup, that will go on top, okay? We've covered that you need to reapply every 2 to 3 hours, and you need to be liberal, and you need to go right up to your eyelids, around the lips, ears, neck, and obviously don't forget the back of your hands and your chest. So next thing, products. So a lot of people say, oh, but sunscreens are horrible and sticky. Yes, they are. They're just like classic beach sunscreens that you wear on holiday. If you get a proper cosmetic sunscreen, it's obviously designed perfectly to be used on the face. So it's going to have extra added ingredients. So for example, the pH formula CC cream, which is the tinted ones, they contain vitamin C and 0.1% of retinol, and you also get things like rosehip oil and wheat protein. So you're getting a lovely finish, moisturising, and the goodness of vitamin C and retinol. So you've got multiple ingredients there which are going to help add benefit to the sunscreen itself. You've then got plain sunscreen, which is the normal white one for those of you that maybe want to wear foundation on top, or you're happy just without a tint. They come in 30 and 50, the plain one. And at present the CC creams come only as a 30. They come as a 50, but that's a compact makeup. So for those of you that like to wear makeup, that would be one way you could get a bit of extra protection and with some medium coverage as well. So I've swatched them on the back of my hands to try and show you the colours. So we've got the light one here. This is the colour that I'm wearing at the moment. So it's perfect for pale, pinky, cool toned skins. And that's that one there. Then we've got the medium. This is a much warmer colour for those of you that like a bit of a tanned appearance. You like to have a warmer complexion. Maybe you're used to wearing kind of foundations that are slightly more orangey brown. And then at the bottom, I've just swatched a tiny bit of the plain, which is the white. So these go on beautifully like a kind of semi-matte finish moisturiser. They're not going to cause you any issues. They dry perfectly. You can see absolutely beautiful. It's not sticky. My hair doesn't stick to my face. It absorbs wonderful. You do need to blend them in. So some people say, oh, you know, I still feel a bit tacky. You probably haven't blended it enough. So make sure, you know, you blend it in like you would a sunscreen to make sure you've got full coverage. And then it should finish really nicely. So I hope that helps explain some myths around sunscreen and why it's so important that you wear it every day. And remember, it's such a simple step that you can do, but it could potentially save you a lot of stress and a lot of money later on in life, trying to undo all that sun damage. And it's important to remember that not only does it cause cancer and wrinkles, but it can accelerate and worsen scarring. So it can leave dark spots and redness as well. So it's not just for people worried about aging, it's for anyone that wants to protect and improve their skin quality. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys found that helpful, and I will do more videos over this weekend.